Welcome to the Rice Field Archive. Tonight, we return to ancient Vietnam for a quiet and sorrowful legend, the story of Betel, Areca, and Lime, and the love, grief, and devotion behind an old Vietnamese custom. Now, let the tale begin. The legend of Betel, Areca, and Lime. Long ago, there lived two brothers named Tan and Lang. They looked so much alike in figure and face that even their own family often mistook one for the other. Their father was the tallest and strongest man in the region and had once been summoned by King Hùng to Phong Chau, where he was rewarded and given the name Cow. From then on, the family took Cow as their surname. When the two brothers grew up, their parents passed away one after another. Tan and Lang loved each other deeply and could hardly bear to be apart, even for half a step. Before their father died, he had entrusted Tan to a Taoist master named Lu. But when Tan went to study with him, Lang refused to stay home alone. He begged to be allowed to study with his brother as well. Master Lu had a daughter around the same age as the two brothers. Wanting to find out which of them was the elder brother and which was the younger, one day she came up with a small trick. When the brothers were hungry, she served them only one bowl of porridge and one pair of chopsticks. Standing behind a crack in the wall, she watched as one brother gave the bowl to the other first. She murmured to herself, "Ah, so that cheerful one is the elder brother." From then on, Tan and the daughter of Master Lu began meeting more often. Their love grew deeper day by day. Seeing this, Master Lu gladly gave his daughter to Tan in marriage. After the wedding, the young couple moved into a new house, with Lang living together with them. But from the day Tan took a wife, although he still cared for his younger brother, he was no longer as affectionate with him as before. In the past, Lang had always been looked after by his brother. But now there were many days when he felt lonely. Lang noticed that Tan sometimes seemed to avoid him. "So that is it," Lang thought bitterly. "My brother has fallen for his wife and forgotten me." His heart became heavy with sadness and resentment. One day, Lang and Tan went up to the fields together and did not return until night had already fallen. Lang came home first. The moment he stepped over the threshold, Tan's wife rushed out from the inner room and threw her arms around him. Lang cried out in surprise. Her mistake made both of them feel deeply embarrassed and ashamed. At that very moment, Tan entered the house. From then on, Lang discovered a new side of his brother. Tan was jealous of him. That jealousy only made Tan even colder toward Lang. Lang was both angry and ashamed. He wanted to leave the house and go far away just to ease the pain in his heart. One morning, while the sky was still dim, Lang made up his mind and set out. He followed a small path and walked on, his heart full of bitterness and blame. After several days of walking, Lang reached the bank of a great river. Seeing the fierce current, he hesitated. Around him, there was not even the sound of a rooster crowing or a dog barking. But Lang refused to turn back. He sat down on the river bank, bowed his head, covered his face, and wept. He wept and wept until even the birds searching for food late at night could still hear his sobbing. By the next morning, Lang was no longer alive. He had turned into stone. At first, when Tan noticed that his brother had disappeared, he paid little attention. But when Lang still did not return, Tan went looking for him at the houses of relatives and acquaintances, yet found no trace of him. Realizing that his brother must have left because he was angry, Tan was filled with regret. The next day, when Lang still had not come home, Tan became frightened. He left his wife behind and set out to search for him. After many days, he too reached the bank of a wide river. Unable to cross, Tan followed the riverbank until at last he found his younger brother, now turned into a stone. Tan stood beside the stone and wept until only the sound of the rushing water remained below the bank. Then Tan died, and from his body grew a tall, straight tree, rising toward the sky beside the stone. Tan's wife waited and waited, but her husband did not return, so she too left home to search for him. In the end, the same river blocked her path. The woman sat down beside the tree and wept until her tears ran dry. After that, she died as well and became a vine that wrapped itself around the tree. When Master Lu and his wife waited for a long time and none of the three returned, they asked the villagers to help search for them. Before the stone and the two strange plants, they could do nothing but build a small shrine by the river to worship the three young people. The people of the region called it the shrine of brotherly harmony and faithful love between husband and wife. Later, in a year of terrible drought, all plants and grasses withered away. Only the two plants growing beside the stone in front of the shrine remained fresh and green. The people believed this to be a sacred sign. One day, King Hùng passed through the region. When he came before the shrine, he was surprised by the strange scene and the unfamiliar plants. "What spirit is worshipped in this shrine?" the king asked. "And what are these plants? I have never seen their like before." To answer the king's question, the Lac general summoned the old people from the surrounding villages and asked them to tell the story. The more King Hùng listened, the more moved he became. He pushed aside the leaves and climbed up to look carefully at every part of the plants. Then he ordered someone to climb the tree and pick a fruit for him to taste. The fruit was a little astringent, but nothing remarkable. Yet, when it was chewed together with the leaf of the vine, a strange flavor spread across the tongue. It was sweet, fragrant, spicy, and pleasant. Suddenly, one of the king's attendants cried out, "Look, it has turned red like blood." Everyone stepped back in astonishment. It turned out that when the chewed fruit and leaf was spat onto the stone, they turned bright red like blood. The king then ordered all three things to be chewed together: the fruit, the leaf, and the stone's lime. At once the body felt warm as if touched by wine, the lips turned bright red, and the face became rosy and full of life. The king said, "This is truly sacred. It must be them. Their love and devotion are still warm, deep and red as blood." From then on, King Hùng ordered people everywhere to cultivate these two plants. More importantly, the king made it a custom that whenever a man and woman married, they had to prepare three things: betel leaf, areca nut, and slaked lime. Everyone would chew a little of them together to remember a love that would never fade. And from that time onward, the Vietnamese people began the custom of chewing betel. And so our tale comes to an end. The Vietnamese legend of betel, areca, and lime. If this quiet journey into the old tales was something you enjoyed, consider subscribing for more legends, myths, and forgotten stories from Vietnam and beyond. Until we meet again, sleep well, and thank you for listening.